Hi guys, I heard you like hearing about crazy mother-in-laws. Well, I have a story for you. My experience with my mother-in-law Kelly wasn't as bad as some of you. It was actually rather funny how I managed to get revenge against her. Consider this a funny story where I reveal Kelly's true face to people while having a good laugh at the situation. I will fill you in on a little secret though. It was actually my sister-in-law, Nicole, who encouraged me to write this. She is a gem, and I'm lucky to have her in my life. So Kelly absolutely hated me with all her being. For reference, my name is Stella, and I married her son, Neil. Neil and I were college sweethearts who made it to the finish line. I went to culinary school while he had a degree in business management. We met through mutual friends on campus and hit it off straight away. He is really a great guy, and I don't have many complaints against him other than a big one. He was an absolute mama's boy. I didn't understand the extent of it until I met his mom. Like I said, from the very first day, she absolutely hated me. I later found out that Neil had been the golden child while his sister Nicole was more or less neglected by Kelly. Kelly hated the idea of me taking her son away from her or something, so she started to try and spoil my reputation to everyone. She made up some nasty stuff to humiliate and embarrass me. She used to do that at public events for full effect. I am, in general, a very non-confrontational person, so I couldn't do much about it. My husband, being the mama's boy he was, also didn't stand up for me as much. Only Nicole tried to defend me and shut down her insane mother. Neil and I had plenty of fights about his insane mom in 1 year we were married. I dealt with Kelly with patience when I was dating Neil, but after I got married, I was starting to lose my patience. One day, I told Neil, "Your mom is always unnecessarily nasty to me, Neil. You need to do something about it. I'm getting tired of her behavior. You know that my mom can be pretty dramatic at times. Try not to take things to heart, Stella." "That's easy for you to say because you're not the one who gets humiliated at public events." "Seriously, Neil, don't you have any pity for me?" "I know you are a strong and patient woman, Stella. You can deal with my mother just fine. Try not to provoke her, that's it." "I never provoke her, Neil. She is the one who keeps bothering me and destroying my reputation. I'm always patient with her." "And I really appreciate that in you, Stella. We don't see our mother that much anyway. Just try to deal with it. She means no harm. She's just a little too dramatic." Speaking to my husband was absolutely useless, as you can see. His solution to everything was to have me deal with it patiently. It wasn't like he never saw his mom's faults. It's just that he wanted me to adjust and act like a mature adult when it should be the other way around. Kelly did act like a nasty child at times. It was honestly pretty annoying, but there was nothing I could do. So I avoided Kelly as much as I could. It was working well until I ran out of patience to deal with her. One fine morning, I found Kelly on my doorstep. I had no idea why she showed up at that hour. My husband had just left for work, so he wasn't home to deal with her. I welcomed her home awkwardly because I didn't know what to do around her. Kelly wordlessly huffed inside and looked at my baking prep with a scrunched up nose. Her presence made the atmosphere so chilly that I tried to break the ice by saying, "Hey, Kelly, long time no see. How are you? Are the party preparations coming up well?" "Listen to me, Stella. I'm not here to make small talk with you. Unlike you, I am a busy woman and my time is valuable. I am simply going to say what I need to say and leave." "Fine then, Kelly, just go ahead and tell me what you want." "I want you to make a cake for my birthday party." Could you imagine that, guys? My mother-in-law, who always claimed that she hated my cakes, was actually asking me to make her a cake for her grand birthday party? Yes, Kelly was hosting a big and rather expensive birthday party for herself. I have no idea why she suddenly wanted to celebrate her birthday in such a grand way. Anyway, what I did know was that she had invited around 60 people who were her friends, colleagues, and neighbors to this party. Her family stayed away, so they couldn't come. Kelly made a lot of big arrangements, and I thought she had ordered her own cake. I am a professional baker, but Kelly always hated and criticized my work, so I never dreamed of Kelly actually asking me to make her a cake. It seems a little bizarre, doesn't it? That was my first thought when Kelly told me that she wants me, of all people, to make her birthday cake. I was confused and bewildered. I said in a very cautious tone, You want me to make you a cake? Are you deaf or something, woman? Yes, I'm asking you to make me a cake. And listen, don't give me the trash you usually create. Can you tell me what you have in mind? I want a 2-tier cake with the best floral decorations you can make. I don't want some sloppy work that you usually make for others. Wow, you don't even like my cakes, Kelly. I don't know why you want me to make you a cake. That's because no one else will make me a cake for free. I'm not paying for a cake when I have you here. Besides, I figured you couldn't afford to buy me a gift, so I decided to just be a bigger person and let you make my cake. Ah, my dear mother-in-law was showing her true colors again. She really wouldn't miss an opportunity to insult me and humiliate me. She was saying that I was useless and poor, so I wouldn't be able to afford a gift for her. Now, listen, I was actually never going to give her a gift because I don't spend my hard-earned money on people who disrespected me. But I wasn't going to tell her that and risk getting screamed at, so I stayed quiet and listened to her ridiculous logic about why she wanted me to make her birthday cake. Still, something wasn't sitting right with me, and I said, Are you sure about that, Kelly? I mean, if you don't like the cake, it will spoil your birthday celebration. Well then, do your best, Stella. You always claim that I humiliate you and pick on you for no reason. Prove me wrong, then. Consider this your chance to impress me. Okay then, Kelly, give me some time and let me think about it. I will give you time to come up with a decision, Stella. But, mind you, if you don't bring a cake to my birthday, I won't allow you to attend. Oh, making the cake was a demand after all, and she wasn't making requests like I had thought. Kelly was literally demanding that I make her a cake or not attend her party. I really wanted to tell her that I would be happier not going to her party at all, but I kept my mouth shut. Again, I didn't want unnecessary drama in my house, especially early in the morning, so I simply nodded my head to whatever Kelly said and stayed quiet till she left. The rest of the day, I kept thinking about Kelly's words as I worked on my orders. Something seemed fishy in this entire ordeal. Knowing my dear mother-in-law, she wouldn't just demand a cake from me like that. She wouldn't risk having people say that my work is good. It was just something that bothered me all day long. When my husband returned from work, I told him what happened because I wanted to know what his opinion on the matter was. To my utter surprise, he didn't seem suspicious at all. Instead, he said, Oh my God, this is a great opportunity for you, Stella. Looks like my mom is really making amends with you. I told you that you just needed to be a little patient with her. You seem excited about this, Neil, but I don't know what to think about it. You heard the part about her not allowing me inside without a cake, right? Oh, that one. I'm pretty sure she was just trying to make a joke. My mom has a pretty dry sense of humor. You don't have to take her so seriously, Stella. That's what you say every time, Neil. But your mom does insult me on purpose and likes to do it publicly. So I'm not sure if she has good intentions in mind this time as well. You're being too suspicious, Stella. You need to take a break from all these negative thoughts. My mom is finally extending an olive branch to you. You should take it. I'm sure she will finally appreciate your work this time. Somehow, I had a lot of doubts about this statement. My husband was extremely enthusiastic about Kelly's demand because, to him, she was making progress. I don't know whether to call my husband naive or ignorant, but that's exactly how he is. Back then, He had a hard time accepting the fact that his mom would intentionally insult me or do things to humiliate me. He always had a never-ending string of excuses for her. But this time, no matter what he said, I wasn't willing to bow down and take whatever Kelly threw at me. I wanted to find a way to avoid being humiliated again, especially at a huge party like that. But first, I needed to figure out what was going on in Kelly's mind. Since my husband was of absolutely no help, I turned to my sister-in-law for help. I called her and told her everything that went down with Kelly and her weird request. Since Nicole was the saner sibling out of the two, she was also suspicious of Kelly. She said, "I see red flags all over Mom's requests, Stella. I would be careful if I were you." That's exactly what I was thinking, Nicole. It seems very suspicious. Neil seemed to disagree with me, though. My brother is a blind idiot who doesn't see anything wrong with anyone. Let's not talk about that dumb man. You and I know something is wrong. Yeah, the way Kelly said that she won't allow me inside the party if I don't bring a cake is also bizarre. Somehow Neil thinks it was a joke. He thinks everything is a joke. I can't believe someone as smart as you married my dumb brother. Neil needs to get his head checked, and so does my mom. God knows what she's up to now. That's what I'm afraid of, Nicole. Your mom has done some pretty messed up stuff to me in the past. No matter what anyone says, I find it difficult to trust her. I don't want to waste my time and energy making a beautiful cake only to have Kelly do something stupid about it. Yeah, you're right, Stella. Even I don't want you to work your butt off for a cake that Mom may not even appreciate. I don't know why she had to ask you for a cake. She could just go to all those bakeries that she can't stop raving about. When Nicole said that, a light bulb went up in my head. Just kidding, guys. I had been working on a plan to trap Kelly and take some revenge on her. There was this idea that was swirling in my head. It's a pretty harmless idea, to be clear. I wasn't going to be as vicious as Kelly. That's just not my style. So I came up with a decent plan and decided to implement it. I told Nicole, "Hey, listen, Nicole, I actually have a little plan I have been working on. I didn't tell anyone about it, though, not even Neil." "Oh, really? Does it include getting some cold revenge against my mother? She has been pretty horrible to you so far. I don't like that she gets away with it every time." "You will be happy to know that my plan does come with some sweet revenge. Do you want to hear what it is? Maybe you will be able to tell me if it will work." "Oh my God, this is really exciting. Tell me right now. Let's hear what you came up with." I told Nicole the plan I had in mind. It wasn't like the greatest plan ever, but I'm not a mastermind either. Nicole was someone I trusted a lot, so I decided to share it with her. I knew she would be upfront with me and tell me if there was something wrong with my plan. My husband would have just been appalled that I would try to trick his mom or something. So Nicole was the safest option. When I told Nicole the entire plan, she started to chuckle and then it turned to laughter. She absolutely loved my plan, and we laughed our butts off to what would happen if it becomes successful. Nicole was a good sport about it, even though there was a chance of her mother getting humiliated. Turns out I had more of a friend in my sister-in-law than my husband. Back then, I was dealing with one problem at a time and left my husband problems for another day. I texted my mother-in-law the next day to let her know that I would be bringing her a cake. I asked her for her specific requirements, and she gave me a fairly long list. It was going to make a dent in my pocket. That was funny because Kelly thought I couldn't afford an expensive gift for her when the gift she demanded was also expensive in itself. Anyway, because of my new plan, I didn't have to waste much time on the cake and was actually looking forward to the party now. The party was supposed to happen within a month, and the day arrived fairly soon. I already had the cake with me, and it was made exactly like Kelly had asked me to. Neil and I went to Kelly's party. Kelly looked pleased to see me with a cake. She had one of her friends take the cake and set it up. Everyone was gushing about the cake and how pretty it was. Kelly never made a comment about how I was the one who made the cake. She remained silent and gave me some nasty looks. Nicole and I were silently laughing in a corner, preparing ourselves for what was to come. Finally, it was time to cut the cake. Kelly cut the cake, took a bite of the first piece, and made the most disgusted face possible. She literally gagged and said, "What on earth is this, Stella?" "I'm pretty sure it's a cake, Kelly, just like you wanted." "Don't try to act all smart with me, Stella. I can see that it's a cake, but it only looks like a cake. It tastes absolutely horrible." And I was right, guys. Kelly did have a reason to ask me to make her a cake. It wasn't her extending an olive branch to me. No, I didn't add anything funny to the cake to make it taste bad or something. I'm pretty sure the cake was exquisite, but Kelly made it seem like I fed her poison. The face she made would make anyone believe that the cake was horrible. Nicole and I exchanged looks, and I saw my sister-in-law just shaking her head. We predicted Kelly's intentions perfectly. She did plan this to humiliate me publicly. The guests were really confused and kept whispering among themselves. If this was another situation, I would have wanted the floor to open up and swallow me. I would have been embarrassed and humiliated beyond belief. But this time, the situation was a little different. I stayed quiet while my husband panicked and said, "Don't you like the cake, Mom? What seems to be wrong about it?" "It tastes absolutely awful. Oh, God, I'm feeling nauseous from that one bite. Who knew a cake that looked so good would taste this bad?" "I don't know what the problem might be, Kelly. The cake has been made exactly like you had wanted. I paid special attention to all the details you wanted." "Why are you asking me what's wrong? It's your job to tell me why the cake tastes so horrible." I was having a hard time hiding my laughter because of Kelly's acting. She really can't act very well. No one would have suspected that she was just lying to embarrass me. Kelly is a true drama queen, and literally no one could beat her in this segment. She did try her best to look sick because she took a bite of the cake I brought her. I was busy holding in my laughter while my husband looked absolutely horrified. Judging by the look on his face and the way he was giving me apologetic looks was enough to tell me that he knew his mom was faking it. He hurriedly said to Kelly, "Are you sure it's that bad, Mom? Stella's an excellent baker and her skills are great. Maybe something went wrong." "You don't have to protect your wife, Neil. We all know what a horrible baker and chef she is. That's why she rarely gets customers. I gave her a chance, hoping to give her some business through my friends, but look at what she's made." "Let me see what's wrong, Mom. Let me just have a taste. I'm sure I will be able to tell what's wrong." Kelly looked alarmed when Neil walked towards the cake. Before he could have a piece, Kelly quickly took the cake and walked away with it. Then in front of everyone, she took the cake and dumped it in the trash. She did it right in front of everyone. There was a collective gasp going around the room. Everyone was shocked to see Kelly react so badly to a cake. I'm pretty sure at this point people were getting really suspicious. Neil looked at the dumped cake and then back at Kelly. He was surprised to see his mom dump a literal cake in the trash because she claimed it tasted bad. Neil said with a shocked expression on his face, "Why did you do that, Mom? I wanted to have a taste and see what went wrong." "Don't you believe me when I say that the cake is awful? Did you have to taste the cake to know for sure?" "That's not what I meant, Mom. I was just trying to know why it tasted bad." "I don't want you or anyone falling sick at my birthday party from the poisonous cake your wife made. God, I had no idea why she thought she should open a bakery. My birthday is absolutely ruined because of her horrible cake. Your wife shouldn't be allowed to bake cakes again." I let Kelly rant away her thoughts like she had planned to do. She gave herself the biggest and the best gift ever. She successfully humiliated me in front of everyone she knew, or at least that's what she had thought. She had no idea that I was about to turn the tables on her. I looked at Nicole first, who gave me the thumbs up and laughed, and then I laughed and said, "Oh, my dear mother-in-law, what makes you think I made the cake?" What do you mean, Stella? I told you to make me my birthday cake. Yes, you did do that, but when I asked for some time to think about it, you said I should bring a cake if I want to attend the party. You didn't specify that the cake had to be made by me, so I decided to bring a cake to avoid getting kicked out. But I didn't bake the cake, Kelly. What do you mean? If you didn't bake the cake, then who did? Well, I actually ordered it from your favorite bakery in the city. Kelly was shocked to hear what I said. By then, Nicole had already burst into laughter and was having a gala time watching the drama. My husband was also surprised, but didn't seem to be angry with me. He was genuinely surprised because he had no idea about my plan. So, yes, I ordered Kelly a cake from her favorite bakery and didn't tell her that it wasn't made by me. I wanted to see what she would do after eating that cake, and I was right to think that it was all a setup on her part. She told me to bring a cake only so that she could humiliate me in front of everyone. Too bad her plan ended up backfiring. Kelly was now caught in her own plan. She looked really nervous and didn't know what to say. She kept looking at the cake and at her laughing daughter. She said, "You're lying, Stella. You're lying to save your skin now. Are you too scared to accept that you are a horrible baker?" "Oh, I'm not lying, Kelly. You were lying when you said that the cake tastes horrible. I knew you were setting me up so that you could humiliate me again in front of everyone, so I tested you by giving you a cake from your favorite bakery." No, you're lying on purpose to make me look bad. I exposed you, so you're trying to protect yourself. If you think that I'm lying, why don't you ask your daughter, Kelly? Nicole knew our plan all along. Oh, she doesn't have to ask me, Stella. I will happily tell everyone that we did get the cake from Mom's favorite bakery. Looks like we were right. She just wanted to humiliate you, Stella. That wasn't very nice, Mom. Everyone in the room gasped again, but at Kelly's antics this time. They started to ask Kelly if what we said was true. Kelly was now being bombarded by questions from everyone, quite unexpectedly. I heard my husband speak up on behalf of me. He said in disbelief, "Mom, did you really plan this? You wanted to humiliate my wife again, didn't you?" "No, Neil, you don't understand. It was your wife who lied to me." "Stop it, Mom. It's quite clear what you've done. You don't have to make excuses or turn yourself into a victim. I'm ashamed of what you did. Stella was suspicious of you, but I spoke on your behalf. Now I see that I was protecting the wrong person." "Son, listen to me, please. Enough, Mom. I've had enough of your stupid explanation. I've already seen what I needed to see. I won't let my wife get humiliated by you ever again. We're leaving, and we will be going low contact with you this time." "You can't be serious, Neil. This was just a small issue. You can't just cut contact with me over this." "This is not a small issue, Mom. You have been systematically bullying my wife for years. I always told Stella to be patient with you. I thought that maybe eventually you would change. Now I see that you will never change." "I can't believe you're taking your wife's side over me, Neil." "Why is that surprising to you, Mom? You were the one in the wrong, so it's natural for me to take my wife's side. I should have done this a long time ago and saved her from all of this trouble. I'm glad Stella did what she did today, and I'm happy that she didn't have to waste her time and energy on a cake that you had planned to diss for the sake of drama." "Son, listen to me. No, Mom, just stop. My wife and I will be leaving. If you have even a little remorse in your system, you will apologize to my wife. If not today, you will do it tomorrow." Guys, I hadn't exactly expected my husband to stand up for me, but oh God, did he defend me without me having to prompt him. I guess he really saw that Kelly was intentionally doing things to humiliate me. He also mentioned going low contact with Kelly, which was exactly what I wanted. I didn't even have to get into a fight with him about it. He readily made that decision on his own. Then, in a very heroic fashion, he took my hand and walked out of that place. On the way home, Neil apologized to me like 100 times for his mom's behavior. He was extremely sorry and apologized for all the times he overlooked the problems that his mom caused. His apologies were genuine, so I forgave him. The big bouquet of roses and premium chocolates that he gave me also helped in the matter. We did have multiple talks about Kelly where he agreed that it was time to go low contact and make Kelly accept her wrongs. Now, let me tell you about Kelly. Since Nicole stayed back at the party, she was able to witness what happened later. She later filled me in on the details and told me that her friends and colleagues were absolutely disgusted with her behavior. They berated her, and most of them left early. Her plan to humiliate me turned into a day of her getting humiliated. She was apparently crying at the end of the party. Nicole just walked out because she had no interest in dealing with her drama. As the days passed, Kelly became desperate when Neil and I stuck to our promise of low contact. She showed up at our house and tried to accuse me of sabotaging her party. She really didn't learn her lesson. However, after another earful from my dear husband, she started to cry and beg for forgiveness. She said, "I made a mistake, Neil. I finally do understand that what I did was wrong. Please forgive me so that we can put this past us." There's no need to apologize to me, Mom. You need to apologize to my wife because she was your victim. "I'm sorry, Stella. Can we please move past this now?" "No, Kelly. I don't think I can forgive you. I actually have no interest in associating with you again anyway." "There, Mom. You heard my wife. I think our discussion ends here. Once my wife finds it within herself to forgive you, we will try to have a good relationship with you again." We are still blissfully in low contact with Kelly. She tried to get her family on her side, but everyone knew what an evil drama queen she was. So no one supported her in her mission. Nicole also started to go low contact with her mom, which Kelly didn't like at all. Nicole and I still have a very strong relationship, and she is slowly building back her relationship with Neil. That is one good thing that came out of this whole mess. Anyway, I managed to get some good revenge against Kelly while having a funny story to tell everyone at the same time. As for my business, Kelly actually ended up doing me a favor. A lot of guests from the party actually ended up reaching out to me. They were horrified by my dear mother-in-law's behavior and wanted to support me in some way. So they placed some orders with me. Not to toot my own horn, but they were all pretty impressed with my work, so it looks like Kelly unknowingly gave me more clients. It feels so nice knowing that Kelly actually ended up helping me in my business while trying to pull me down cruelly. I don't know if I could ask for a better revenge.